UNDE.
OG
OG
Lee
Lee.
in the house once again.
You know what it is. You
Thank
know who it is.
goodness. Thank
Yes,
goodness.
indeed. Yes, indeed. Back with another one, baby.
So, hey, that first episode, man, got pretty good views.
Yeah, we didn't break the internet, but I would
Pretty
say,
good views, man.
come on, some people came through.
Yeah,
showed us
shout
some
out,
love.
shout outs, yo.
I
First
it.
thing off the top, I'm gonna do a few shout outs, man.
Come on.
Yo, shout out
some
Jarrell, man. Shout out Jared. Shout out Lois, Freddie, man. Orlando, ¿qué pasó, bro? Shout out CD, man. Shout out, man, Pam,
Shouts
Adcock,
out.
Coffee Lover. Shout out Terry, man.
Mhm.
Hey, if I miss any names, man, I still got love for you. I just didn't, I missed your name.
We
Charles,
love it.
yo,
We
Charles
love it.
Banks. That nigga been riding with me for a long time. Keith, shout out to Whitney. Shout out to Rosa. Shout out to Scent. Shout out to Coach Yo. Skip.
boop, boop,
Shout out
boop.
to EJ. Shout out to Tamaya. Shout out to Tim. Shout out to Michelle. Shout out to Bida. Shout out to Don Mills. Shout out to Gwen. Shout out to Michael Robillard.
Plenty of
That's my man
love.
too. Michael, yo, I appreciate you. Shout out to Mike Small. Shout out to
I see you,
Howard.
Smalls.
Shout out to Kevin. Shout out to Toy. Shout out to
Toy, I see you. I heard Don Mills in there too.
shout out to my man Keith. And that's enough for now, man. If I missed you, I'll get you some other time. We appreciate those
we
views.
really do, man.
And most of them
I love it.
subscribe.
Like, comment, and
So
subscribe.
yeah,
man.
that's really appreciated.
Find
man,
us on
for real.
something, a TikTok,
What's all
Twitter.
the places? What's all the forums we on?
We are on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
We're rookies. Grow with us.
Yes,
Grow
for
with
sure,
us.
For sure, for
But
sure.
we got a Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. We're gonna be soon on audio platform, man. So y'all can just, if you want to just rather sit
Just
back,
listen instead of watching
You
these
know,
two ugly dudes.
lend us your ears. You know, you can do that too. That's an option. But we're gonna be out there, man.
Put us in the background, if nothing else.
Kick back, relax, to some old school, new school. But I got this first topic, which is interestingly kind of old school, new school.
Okay, what is it, bro? What is it?
Something we're seeing before our very eyes every other night. You know, LeBron James. Did you see his recent feat that he
Man,
that
it seemed
he-
like
that he did?
LeBron James is always doing something. What was his latest feat? The 40,000 points? Or did he score another 20,000 in 2 nights?
40,000 points. NBA baskets against the best athletes in the world.
But the thing is, man, I'm always hearing people hating on LeBron, and I can't understand it. Why is that?
It's like, I mean, everyone can't agree, basically. Like, in a situation like that, it's obvious that.
But I'm
it
not
just
saying
can't
to
be
say that he's the GOAT. I'm just saying show the brother some love for what he's accomplished.
There's no hate that I could personally see, which I'll be
You
honest.
can't see it? Not from
no.
yourself. I'm talking about from other people.
No, I'm saying I can't see how you could look at LeBron. Like, what hate would you have exactly? Other than, you know what I'm saying?
I'm
You just have
always
hate
hearing
your
it
heart.
in the background, but I agree with you, man. I don't see how anybody could hate on LeBron. Unless you're just a jealous person, you gotta, and I think sometimes we do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't tell another man, give him his kudos for whatever reason. But
Yeah.
the boy is bad, man.
He is
I
a
fought it for a
monster.
long time, and still, I'm not a hell of a LeBron James fan. But when you look at what the man has accomplished, you got to give him his props. I mean, you got to get a boy a salute. You got to get a boy his props, man. And I say
And
anybody
how-
who's not doing that, they got to be jealous.
It's a fact.
Because these people that I hear in the background, they don't even get pick up, in the park.
Mm-mm.
But they going to talk about
They get
LeBron.
no
Come
love.
on, man. LeBron is a bad man.
What could you say, the baddest?
He's right up there with the baddest. He's right up there. I mean, he's right up there.
It's the level that he's doing it at, the longevity, the level that he's doing it at, and I mean,
And he's still playing.
I'm about to say he
playing
has to
with
stop
dudes that are
eventually,
half his age.
man. and
So we really
he's a
need to
threat.
find out what the boy is doing, what he's taking, and all his diet and all this kind of stuff like that. We might be able to sell it.
what if he drinks baby blood? Would that change your perspective on him?
That wouldn't change my perspective, but I ain't drinking none.
Hmm.
I bet you a lot of people would start drinking baby blood.
Oh, absolutely.
But what
if
would
we-
happen if a lot of people start drinking baby blood?
You know, The baby population sounds like it would diminish.
No, what they're gonna start doing is selling some cheap red shit, fronting it off as baby blood. You know how people do. They'd be like, "Oh, this is baby blood."
Oh no,
that shit is some bullshit that they concocted.
That's not the real stuff. That's not the real stuff.
And they're gonna start bootlegging LeBron baby blood. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy shit.
And this is drinking is baby's blood. Come on, relax, man. That could be a topic that one could agree.
Because there's some people. Disagree. There's some people who drink blood, like animal blood, foreign people or whatever.
If I'm not mistaken, that's a hunting ritual. Like your first thing deer kill, you're drinking some sort of blood or biting the heart or something like that.
Oh, really?
I think so. Somebody let me know. Let me know if that's a fact, but I think something like that happens.
But look, if you like a steak, which I hate steak because most of the time people can't cook it and it's too tough for me. Mm-hmm. But for these people who like it, I guess medium rare or whatever, I walk by maybe somebody's table and look, and there's all this blood coming out of the steak, and they like to eat it like that, so they like warm blood.
Like a vampire kind of, but teach their own.
I've come to suck your blood. But anyway, I ain't down with no blood sucking, man. Can't do it.
Blood sucking is not ideal. Not ideal.
But seriously, we got to find out, man, what LeBron does. You know, what does he, what's his regimen? Because the guy is very, very successful. And really, he could play another 5 years and still play at the level of some of these other scrubby pros that they got.
I think if he plays with his kid, he's solidified, right?
Man, his kid, I hope his kid's heart is all right and he doesn't push himself because he already had like a baby heart attack on the court, right?
He got cleared though from it, but yeah, he definitely did.
Well, they'll clear you because you're LeBron's son and you're really still trying to go out there and do something. So sometimes you got to be careful with that, man. Because I remember, who was it? Lynn Bias, right? Remember Lynn Bias?
R.I.P.
Yeah, man. So you really got to be careful with that.
What are the odds, though, right? You're LeBron's son, and then there's a.
Well, with me though, I wouldn't want to be LeBron's son because I would want to like play in the league, right? But they're gonna always measure me up against my dad. You know what I'm saying? And there's no way I could do what my dad did, man.
And even the name Bronny, that's pretty. It's a big shadow.
I thought that was his nickname at first when I heard that. That's his as in Bronny.
Her name.
That's the first. I ain't never heard no nigga named Bronny. Maybe like a puppy named Bronny or some shit like that. I'm just saying, Bronny.
What's wrong with that?
It just seems like a nickname type of shit.
They got the toilet paper.
Is it named Bronny?
No, it's not supposed to say.
Something like that. Oh, that is? Okay, so what's his name? LeBron? Oh, okay. I can buy that. I thought his name was like Bronny. I'm like, what kind of name is that for a nigga?
I always see him like all stuff writing as Bronny. That's weird.
He did it for that reason.
So that he wouldn't have to be in his father's. Okay, like if people. Oh, we don't know that that's his son. That's Bronny. That's not LeBron.
That's pretty funny.
He got some big shoes to fill. How many? He got 2 sons or just the one?
He got 2.
Got 2
Bronny, and then he got
the other one plays basketball too.
Yeah, with Bryson or something. Bryce or something like that.
See, I'm like most Americans, man. I think they're so disillusioned because most people that I've seen, they don't usually watch the news. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So you telling them certain things that's happening, like, oh, I didn't know that. And that's how I am now about sports. So I didn't know. And the thing that disillusioned me about sports, man, is when I look, I'm watching a game and I look, oh, shit, he's on that team now. Damn, I watched it 3 nights ago. The motherfucker was on this team. You know, so they like trading them to me like horses. It's like, man, I can't follow it like that. I can't follow that shit like that no more. So I just stopped watching it altogether.
Dang, you can't. It's not that, but it's a trade deadline, you know.
I know, but it's just like, man, like I see some teams, they make it all the way to the championship game. They don't lose by that much, but for some reason they think they gotta change the whole team around. Everybody. I really hate that. They gotta change the whole team around, and they ain't really, come back next year. Before you know it, the whole team is dismantled. And I'm like, what the hell is that?
Do you think though, as fans, bro, would you want to see that? I guess some people would. I guess the fans of that team would want to see the exact same team try.
Exactly, because they came so close. Mm-hmm. I mean, they came. You know, a lot of times the series might be where they won, 3 of the 7 games, maybe, or something like that. So it's like they were right there in contention. Mm-hmm. So it's like, man, come on, because back in the day, you didn't see that. You know, back in the day, you didn't see
It's
all
about
this
that money,
trade.
man. Now, cap
Yeah.
space and all that kind of stuff.
Another
See what
thing
they
I
can
was
get.
thinking about too, man, is back in the day, you know how many channels I had growing up? How many channels on TV?
Oh, TV channels.
7 channels. 7. 7.
Ah!
And now I'm looking at this whole cable thing and all. I have 7,000 channels.
Man,
Selling shit on TV, the news on every channel.
cable in general is not even like a thing
man.
hardly now. It's mostly, Netflix and Hulu and different little streaming services.
That's another thing in itself.
Cable's almost up out of here, I would say. Actually,
Netflix, Hulu, Boohoo, Juhu, all of them damn channels.
a doo-doo, a boo-boo.
Do they got a boo-boo and a doo-doo?
I know they got a honey boo-boo. She's probably like 25.
And that's another thing, man. A lot of people, because of these channels, you can be doing anything and make some money doing that shit. Because they do got a little girl named Honey Boo Boo, right? Seems like I seen that.
For sure, she's probably like 20 now or something like that. It's
Oh,
been a
really?
minute. Yeah.
Honey Boo Boo got her own boo-boos now.
But Honey Boo Boo, she was kind of like a little chubby girl who we loved at the time. Which
That's what I remember as being a little girl. So she like 20 now?
I think it's like probably the amount of time it's passed.
Honey, she probably got her own fans-only channel or something by now.
Oh, Honey Boo Boo on OnlyFans, bro. Stop.
Is it OnlyFans? Yeah.
That's a sick
Hey, the
thought right
economy's
there.
so tight. A lot of people are going to that OnlyFans.
Yeah. Did the government set it up that way?
I don't know if they set it up that way, but this inflation is killing people, man. It's killing people.
It's beat my ass, boy. I've been in a nice little fight.
So I wanted to ask you, man, like, because a lot of people, the economy's killing them.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some of the things that you recommend on a low budget foods that people could eat and still kind of survive?
I mean, straight out though, I can't say it's mine. Good old Dave Ramsey, good old rice and beans is a solid one. But
No meat. Just the rice and beans?
no, you can throw it. You can get
Because that's when it start breaking your budget. You want to eat meat, you know what I'm saying? That's when you like, yo, damn.
But if it's really like that,
Chicken, you got to stay with the chicken.
chicken, you can get some a pack of hot dogs.
Oh, yeah.
slice
That's
those
not
devils,
meat, though, man.
Which is not meat, but
That's kind of almost like on a chitlin circuit and shit, you know what I'm saying? Because the way they do them hot dogs, they mix all the shit that's left, and somehow, they make it into this long hot dog.
but it's the
with the thing.
summertime and you're gonna eat at least how many at a barbecue?
Yeah, but they could be like beef hot dogs if you like consider yourself bourgeois. What do they call it, bougie? You could
Now
eat the
look,
beef hot
Now
dogs.
listen to OG Lee. You gotta choose. You gonna be bougie or you gonna be broke. You gotta be realistic with yourself, bro.
Eat some egg salad. That's kind of cheap.
Or eat some. Now I know
Tuna fish.
eggs.
Hey,
Eggs.
and
Don't
you
sleep
know
on
what's
eggs.
the old staple?
Huh.
Peanut butter and jelly.
Come on, ain't nothing wrong with it. And old school, new school, you better toast that PB and J. And I mean pan fried, boy.
You know
Put
what?
some
I
butter
heard
on each side and put
this
that thing on the
politician
stove.
say. She said toasted peanut butter and jelly is meant to be a snack. That's not something that people live on.
Slap.
And I was looking like, you ain't been in the hood, baby. And the other guy was saying, since you mentioned cereal, the other guy was saying,
I didn't mention cereal, but cereal, come on.
cereal is like something that you eat for dinner a lot of times.
Frosted Flakes, you better chill out. With some bananas in there if you're getting crazy.
And then you don't get the regular Frosted Flakes, you get the store brand. Should I tell them that? Let me tell them this story, man. My kids, I always used to buy them the store brand cereal.
Stop saying store. Oh,
We
no,
used to get
it's
like
off brand more.
We
like.
used to get Kroger got their own
Okay, I
brand,
see.
right?
So,
So it
yeah.
used to be like 3 for $5 or something like that, and I go get like 21 boxes of it or whatever.
Captain Carkle.
So one day I considered myself treating y'all, and I remember it was Captain Crunch, and Kroger used to have a brand called whatever it was,
Yes,
whatever,
bullshit.
right? And it was so funny, man, because y'all took the Captain Crunch, everybody poured theirs and whatever, they started eating it. It was like, oh, what is this? It was so used to eating the store brand that the Captain Crunch
The
didn't
real
taste
deal
right
was
to
like,
them.
"Ah,
That's when I said,
damn."
yeah, good. I ain't got to buy no more of this Captain Crunch.
That's
But
hilarious.
yeah, man, I thought that was funny.
Oh, let me tell you one. Kind of on that same tip. A solid one. Don't knock it till you try it. Rice and eggs.
With ketchup.
And you could throw some ketchup on top of there. I'm trying to tell you. Nice and hot. And we used to get the ketchup with your initial. That was like a Mayfield staple.
Oh, not the smiley face?
No smiley. Your first name initial. Put that on that bad boy. And that's some decent eating. It's definitely gonna hold you over.
But you know what I think they did?
What happened?
I think that these stores did a survey. And they got some people, they said, hey, come to this survey, answer a few questions. We give you $10 and a bowl of grits or something. And they got these
Grits?
people, they said, you know, like, what are the cheapest foods that you eat, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And the people answered, told them all the cheapest foods. And then they went back and marked all those damn prices up. Because you used to could buy eggs, man. Eat an egg sandwich anytime.
Mm-hmm. Egg salad.
Eggs used to be 89 cents a dozen. Now how much are eggs? $5. You can't even eat Vienna sausage. Or some people say Vienna sausage. You can't even eat Spam no more. All of that shit. Did you look at how much chitlins cost? The last holiday, they had chitlins priced.
I did.
Hey, black people got to eat some chitlins for Thanksgiving, right? The
Perhaps.
chitlins for a bucket of 10 pounds is like $20-something.
Not
I'm
the
like,
chitlins,
pig
too.
guts for they're pricing it like it was
They
caviar.
deserve that. They deserve
They
that.
priced that shit like it was caviar or something, man.
Yeah. Throw up the chitlin prices. I agree
So
with
you
that.
got to find out what's the cheap things you can eat, because they found out what the cheap things are that you was getting by with, and they marked all that shit up. It's unbelievable that eggs are $5 a dozen. And a lot of people, like my cousin, shout out Jamel, they start getting chickens and shit, man.
That's dope.
Cheaper to get chickens and get the eggs from the chicken than to buy it from the store.
Speaking of all these different things we're eating, cheap foods, things you can eat, are we too fat as Americans?
Man, we are so fat. Hey, I want the people to follow me because I'm on my diet now. And let me just tell people, man, this is the thing with a diet that you don't get discouraged. You didn't get fat like that overnight, so you're not going to lose it overnight.
Mm-hmm.
So stay with your plan. But as they watch me, I'm going to lose this right here and I'm going to bulk up a little
Come on.
bit.
No,
I just gained this weight because I had a role that I was in in Hollywood. So now, I'm telling you, man, so now that I ain't got this role going, I got to get back down to my fighting weight.
You play like a Norbert 2 role or something?
Yeah.
What you going for?
Nutty Professor.
No.
But yeah, now I
But
got to get down to my fighting weight.
What's
I'm
going to
get
happen
back.
is on our, probably, I'm thinking, I don't know if it's going to be on our Instagram, but we're about to have kind of like a workout kind of check-in.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see us slim down. Check us on cam.
I hope I don't
Peep
end
some
up
of our
checking out.
workouts, man. Y'all going to have to check that out for sure.
Yeah, I hope I don't end up checking out.
Checking out. OG Lee ain't checking out, man. That's why.
But yeah, we are real fat, man. And the thing is, you don't want to start getting rolls, because that's how when my stomach was really fat, I used to tell if I lost weight by seeing if I lost a roll. You know what I'm saying?
How many were you
I
counting?
had 2 rolls, but now I'm down to 1.
Were you roll pinching? Checking thickness
No,
of
I'm just
rolls, or-
looking in
checking
the
out
mirror, because it was like back fat. You know what I'm saying? So I was like looking in the mirror, God damn, you got a roll of back fat. But
The mirror check is key. Some people really don't like to look in the mirror.
But some of the mirrors, you know what I'm saying? Like when you go to the fair, they got the mirrors that kind of make things look a little crazy. I think that's how my mirror was, because I don't think I really had two rolls.
Yeah.
But I damn sure got 1.
You know, that's like a real thing though. People suffer with that, right? Like
Right.
I don't know if it's image dysmorphia or something like that, or I guess body dysmorphia, where they really see themselves as like a different
Something
person
other than
in
what
the
they
mirror.
really are.
Yeah, like to like the real like anorexia point and like
Start sticking it, throwing up
bulimia.
and shit like that.
Yeah,
Man, let me tell you about that.
It's a sick.
I didn't know this, but when somebody is doing that shit, throwing up, sticking their finger down and all that, they got
Messing
bad
teeth up.
teeth.
On the inside, start off.
But even on the outside too, because I didn't know that. But when you throw that shit back up, it's really acidic.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And it fucks your teeth up. And I didn't know, because I had a drill sergeant and his teeth was fucked up like that. And then I realized later, because they said one of the main people that do that are like drill sergeants, people who have to keep that, image, and keep their body tight. And I didn't know my drill sergeant, he was, whatever you call it, anorexic or bulimic or whatever it is. But yeah, I wouldn't go that far. I would not go that far.
couldn't.
Once I eat it, it's down. Only way it's coming out, you know what time it is. That's the only way it's coming out.
One-way street. I agree.
That's the only way it's coming out.
So your drill sergeant.
Yeah. because they got to keep that figure. You know what I'm saying? They got to keep that deportment.
When you were in the military? When was you in the military?
Shit, man, I was in the military for 8 years, 6 years, 7 years, 7 years. 7.5 to be exact.
Good decision, or what you feel? Regret?
Absolutely saved my life, man. Absolutely saved my life. If I didn't do that, I probably would have did a bid, a strong bid when I was young. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The military saved my life. But now I look at it and say, of course, that I think about it as an older person. I wouldn't obviously have no kind of nothing with the military. Because we got a turbulent military.
When did you get
17 years old, right out the box, man. Very impressible teen, But I made the right decision because, like I said, people around me were dying. People around me were going to prison. So, and that's the way it is now. A young person has to make a decision, especially if you're from, as they call, the hood. You got to make a decision. Am I going to stay here or, am I going to make a move? Even if you don't feel like, you want to go to all these crazy places they're sending you to kill people. You still want to do something because you could be killed right there on the block. So, yeah. And then they pay you, so.
That helps.
It always helps. We's free. This is like the Liberty Bell. So whenever he rings this, man, I scream, we's free. Thank God Almighty, we's free.
We's free, we's free. This bell here is
what you getting ready to do? Some of those mind crushers?
Oh, my goodness. This one we got is called Gorilla Island. Hear me out, right? 10 regular Americans, 10 silverback gorillas.
Damn, you got to know math. Go ahead.
1,000 bananas, 1 island, nothing else to eat. This summer on Fox, pound your chest for Gorilla Island. Are you going to watch every episode of this reality TV show?
What was the first thing they had? 10 of what?
Regular Americans. 10 silverback gorillas. 1,000 bananas, 1 island. Only food source.
Ain't no brothers in this. Ain't no sisters in this. This is all white people. White people are very adventurous.
Are you watching?
I'm not. I might watch it if it's just. I might, depending on who's on there, because it might be some silverback payback. Huh? So I might watch it just to see them silverbacks fuck some people up. Because you can't go against no silverbacks, man. And for bananas, too, that's like their favorite shit.
They go for it. That would be an interesting show, eh?
That would be stupid as shit. But
how long do you think it will last?
Probably the first episode, because those gorillas going to be hungry as shit. And them Americans ain't gonna last. Why they put Americans? See, they know the Americans are only the stupid motherfuckers that do that.
Absolutely.
That's why I said it would have to probably be white folks, man.
It kind of sounds like an Asian game show that probably already exists. I'm not gonna lie.
Asians ain't doing no shit like that.
No, chill out, bro. They got so many people to waste. Like They're doing all kinds of things.
They got so many people to waste, you think?
Yeah.
What do you think? Asians got a lot of people?
Yeah.
Man, by the way, speaking of that, because a lot of people, these immigrants is coming in here. Mm-hmm. Everybody is saying that these immigrants are coming in so that they eventually be able to vote. But what I was saying the other time was that Americans, especially white Americans, they're not having kids anymore. They're having like 0.5 kids or some shit, right?
Mm-hmm. Why is that? Because
they always look at what the world would be able to, what they would be able to offer their kid in the world if they came into the world. Mm-hmm. It's not like in the 50s and 60s when people were just hopeful, you know what I'm saying, and felt like they had a future and all this. They were having 5, 6 kids. Black people were having 5, 6 kids. One dad was giving 5, 6 kids, then the other dad had 5, 3 kids, whatever it was. So a lot of kids, right? Mm-hmm. But now they're not having the kids. So the reason that they're bringing a lot of these immigrants in, because eventually they'll become Americans, right?
Yeah.
One of the factors, in having a great nation, a powerful nation, is population. You know what I'm saying? Okay. You could have a lot of money, like a country like Switzerland, but if you don't have a lot of people, you can't be considered a mighty power. So you look at India, got billions of people, China, right? Even Russia. Mm-hmm. America's population's like that. But if it was left up to Americans, our future we wouldn't be a great power because our people are dwindling. Americans, but with them allowing all of these other foreigners in, see, then your population keeps up with a China, your population keeps up with a India, your population keeps up with a Russia, population keeps up like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you still remain a superpower.
Keeps up to what regard, though? Are you saying exactly? Just
matching the people.
Yes,
yeah, because that's a part of being a superpower. That you have a lot of people who are productive people that continue to, add to your GDP.
Within this superpower, though, there's this kind of more, like we said, a reference a word, a monolith. It seems to be
who the Chinese type
or other,
because they don't have the same freedoms,
But would that compare? You know what I'm saying? As far as the people that we're adding. Not necessarily in a monolith to what they're adding. They have more people that are kind of on the same page. Is that a detriment or a benefit, I guess is what I'm asking.
I think that America thinks that since we've been so diverse anyway, that they would still add to, our population and to, the American population as Americans. But when you got people who think on the same pattern and who understand kind of what their country is about, I think it's better than having a bunch of people, especially when they move in and they're really not Americans. Because it used to be, we used to trickle them in and they would come in and say, hey, I want to be American. They start learning the language, the customs, all of that. Now they're coming in, setting up their own enclaves or whatever. Before you know it, there's a whole neighborhood of people and they don't even care. I don't necessarily want to speak English, so they speak in their own languages and all of this. So they really, to me, are like quasi-American. They ain't really no Americans, but they are adding to our population.
What maybe a little deep, but what does it mean to be an American? You would say.
I mean, first, usually it was you were born in America, or you came and you were naturalized, but now it's just a matter of being in America and saying, hey, I want to be here. Because the time they touch down, one of the things that's, I guess, good for them is we start giving them money. Mm-hmm. And black people especially, I've been watching this in Chicago, they starting to get fed up with that shit. Because, you taking people that's been here forever, some of them hit a bad, streak, they may be homeless, whatever it is, and now you're taking these people that just came in and they're doing better than me from you giving them shit. It's terrible. And then a lot of people, like we just spoke about, the economy, are doing real bad. And they're thinking, hey, I could be doing better if you wasn't taking my tax-paying money and giving it to these immigrants that's coming in, giving it to these Ukrainian people, sending it over here to Israel and all that. So people are starting to get woke and getting mad about that shit, man.
Which kind of brings me a kind of a funny topic.
Give me my money. I'm paying my taxes.
It's my money and I want it now. No. Did you see your boy Terrence Howard?
Oh my goodness. Hey, they're gonna put his black ass in jail. In prison, as we used to say, because he owed $900,000 in back taxes. I think he hasn't paid in like 9-10 years.
I was about to say, how many years is that?
It's been a little minute. They wrote him a note. Pretty soon they're gonna come knocking. But he said, "Hey, I don't think that descendants of slaves should have to pay taxes." Who? How many people write it in the comments or something?
Would you
agree
take
with that
as a reparation payoff? No more taxes for the rest of your life.
Well. First of all, with Terrence Howard, that nigga light, bright, damn near white with some green motherfucking eyes. So I don't know about him being a strict descendant of slave. He mixed in there Creole or some shit, whatever it is, but he just can't claim no full nigga status. You know what I'm saying? His uncle wasn't no Kunta Kinte and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because that nigga is, hey, where the fuck you get them hazel eyes and shit?
Discount on the taxes.
Ooh, boy, I'm gonna tell you, man. That's the thing about reparations, which I'm waiting for mine. But how they gonna, give it all out and shit? You know what I'm saying? They gonna how they gonna do that shit?
They're gonna do like an ancestry. That's how they're gonna get everybody.
Ancestry.com.
Look, they're gonna get everybody.
Shit ain't no good,
no.
Man.
They're gonna get everybody's DNA right because they're using it for something else. Conspiracy. Maybe.
Oh yeah, they can use the DNA.
They're gonna get everybody to get in the ancestry just so they can get their reparation payout, and then their DNA is gonna be used for like cloning.
And
or
I
some
don't know
shit
why
like
they don't want to give niggas reparations. Because all we going to do, just like the COVID money, is turn around and spend it
Toss
with
it right back to
to
you.
them. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I always, thought
Maybe
about
they're just
that.
like waiting for like, they need like a buyout, It's just like oh, it's getting bad. Here we go. Throw these on out there, get us back into the green. But yeah,
Because every time, one time I was talking to your father-in-law, man, and that was the first thing. Like a lot of white people, we can't afford that.
that was,
And
one,
since
that was
that
one of
time,
my early ideas of a podcast.
since that time, man, they've given so much money out to this, to that, to that. So black people really are starting to get fed up about it.
Mhm.
But then what they're gonna do is they're gonna be like, okay, we give you your reparations. They're gonna go into your record and tell you owe back taxes and take half your reparations, if not all of it. Just like they do the child support people. You know what I'm saying? And I know some brothers be mad because they didn't used to do that, but now they do it. It's been about 10, 20 years.
They're straight garnished that bad boy.
Yeah. And you know how they come up with words like, we've garnished your wages. What's that garnish? Niggas don't know what garnish is. Just say we took your money. You know what I'm saying? Garnish. What the hell? I never heard of that until they start taking the money. Garnish. What the hell is that?
Which brings a thought to my mind, right?
What's that?
I know how people get their wages garnished, but I've got a word of the day.
All right.
Maybe add to people's vocabulary, eh?
Did you say word of the day?
A word of the day. The word of today. We've already garnished people's taxes or wages.
That starts to be one of those operative words now, because you come back and talk to your homeboy. Yo, what happened? What's up, man? Yo,
Man, they garnished my shit, man.
Yo, they garnished my wage.
Garnished
my wages.
I didn't get to see
what that
my
mean,
money.
man? What that mean, garnish? They took my shit, man. I had 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 tax worth of taxes. Here I got $50.
I got 400 after they garnished it. Ooh! But the word of the day today
is what?
Resilient.
Oh, that's a good one.
This
That's a good one, because I'm seeing some resilience.
simply said, they said of a person or animal able to withstand or recover quickly from difficult conditions.
I got a good one for that one, man.
What a good sentence for us?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, come on, Julie, give us a sentence. Use that in a
Man,
sentence for
I
us.
was watching this on TV today on the news,
Mm-hmm.
and over here in Palestine, they bomb these people.
Free Pally.
They basically are not, picking up any kind of garbage or anything like that. So you got poor sanitation where the people are catching diseases. They're facing famine because they're not feeding them right, if at all. So they're facing all of these kinds of atrocities, but they are still surviving. That's a definition of resilience. The people are resilient.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The Israelis are resilient people.
Not the Israelis, the Palestinians.
Palestinians
The
are
Israelis
resilient
are
people.
too, I guess, but
in a
they are
ruthless
the
way.
ones that's bringing it down on the Palestinians. So the
Mhm.
Palestinians are the ones, in this case, showing resilience because they're surviving, a lot of them.
The Israelis' violence is resilient.
No, I don't think that's
No.
The Palestinian people are resilient because they're dealing with these hardships and still surviving.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to use it for the how about the Israelis have a
Israelis.
What did I say?
Israelis.
The Israelis.
Israelis.
Israelis?
Yes.
The Israelis have a resilient mindset. They'll stay violent.
That's reaching, but I'm gonna just give you, like, if I
What
was the
grade
teacher,
do I
I'd
give?
give you
What
like
grade
a
do I give?
65 on that.
Damn!
Give you like a
A
65.
D?
But do you know who? I guess it was October 7th. Who they said bombed the Israelis? Hamas.
Uh-huh.
Right now, who bombed the Israelis?
Hamas.
So you understand the pronunciation, right? Hamas.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just like when I'm in Spanish class with white people, they said the name is Hamas, right? Hamas. It's very easy to pronounce. You are always going to hear
Hamas.
these white reporters, Hamas, Hamas. What's so hard? That's where you see the disrespect, where they can't like come out of their language and say Hamas. It's very easy. I used to hate that in Spanish class when I was in Spanish class with white people. They could tell you, the teacher tells you what the pronunciation is, and for some reason they want to say it all kinds of ways, but the way that the damn teacher told you to pronounce it. Shit used to just burn me up, man. But it shows that they don't want to come out of their language and their culture to delve into somebody else's culture.
Pissing you off.
It used to piss me off, man, because the teacher used to just tell them like that, Hamas. That's easy. Why would somebody say Hamas?
Which made me another topic here. You kind of brought up to me.
What's that?
The DEI situation.
Oh, shit.
Which is kind of...
Boy, they trying to lay the hammer down on us, man.
What's going on exactly?
Diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion.
That means that really what it means is that you have a lot of qualified black people. And what we're asking is that you consider us because we have the qualifications.
Ouch.
And if you do consider us, then we'll be able to demonstrate that we have the qualification to do said job. But one of the things people have to do, stop naming your daughter loquacious and all this type of shit. You got to start naming them some application names. Huh? Because a lot of times you get turned away when your name is Tarvarius and shit like that, or you get blown away as soon as they read your application. Yep. Got to start naming your kid. I'm not saying go back to, Tom and Jerry and shit, but name your kids some application names, man. At least they can get past, step one.
So let me ask you this. You say that, right?
Ian, yeah.
What makes you come up with a name like Synovia?
Well, that right there is in my younger days before I really thought about it. But I knew my daughter was going to be so talented that she wouldn't have to worry about that, because really, I'm giving this advice to other people. But if you're a strong black person, you don't need to change your name and dumb it down, because you're going to really be, you're going to be dealing with your world in this world. You know what I'm saying? In other words, you're not going to need white people for you to survive. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be kind of business oriented, that kind of thing. Get the kind of skills you need to be able to do what you need to do.
Because we are resilient people, eh?
Most of us are. I would say, as a matter of fact, the most resilient people in the world are black Americans. Because you've seen what we've been through, the whole slavery ordeal for years, 400 years, and still taking their shit, right? Look at so many of the industries that they don't want to let us in, because if they do, what we do, we take over. And don't think about sports. Lord God, they had to start going and get these guys over from these other countries just to make white folks be in the NBA, because we was taking it over. They said, we can't pay all of these niggas this kind of money.
Man, can't get it all. That's almost sound like reparations.
That was a good example of resilience when you talk about black people. Yeah. I mean, the most resilient people in the world.
That is an absolute fact, man.
Because who comes back from that shit? And then give somebody, think about this shit. Even though Obama wasn't like a black American proper, he still went up there and represented black people as what? The president of the United States. How can damn slaves, how can slaves work their way up in a country to become the president of the country? I mean, the shit only lasted, 8 years, but
8 years, monumental.
You got somebody who's a vice president, right? And then Michelle is thinking about running. They said Michelle's thinking about running. And if she runs, she's gonna run Biden's ass right out of there. But Trump, you think Trump's gonna win?
I think so, probably. Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a surprise in that Trump or Biden, neither one of them are gonna be the candidates. Something's gonna happen before the election.
Who would it be, you think? You're not sure, but
I don't know, man. I have no idea, because they really gonna pull a fast one, I think, this election. They really are. Because Trump did good, but people think he's like a criminal, and they don't think that he should be in office. You see all these lawsuits he got against him, right? So the people really or some people really want him out. And then his voting for Trump, even though more blacks are starting to vote for him, voting for Trump is a conservative vote, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I really want to know, what is Make America Great Again? Nobody has never said what is that? Make America Great Again.
And speaking of making America great again, you see these folks right here. They've been watching us the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't like, didn't comment, didn't subscribe. They didn't offer me to get me another brew. Nothing. So we sitting here, no brew, no like, no. We'll be right back. Give us 1 second. We'll be right back. Y'all do what y'all need to do. We're going to do what we need to do. We'll be right back. Give us 1 second.
All right, you handle your business?
All right, we back, man. Pour me up.
No, let's toast to this shit anyway.
Old
Toast
school,
to old
new
school,
school.
Hey,
Koozie.
if you shook it more than 3 times, you're playing with it.
In regards to what?
Your break you had to take, man.
I got you. I'm picking up what you putting down.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, right? Interesting transition off of a interesting segue sentence there. I've been seeing like transgender people kind of participating in sports. How's the old school feel about that? What's OG Lee think?
First of all, and it's interesting for me to even think about this because I came from a time when it was just like men and women.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't get this whole thing about changing your body parts and all of this kind of stuff. I just don't get that. But I know, I think it was in that swimming tournament I saw, big, robust looking woman who had been changed over, and she just beat the shit out of all the women in that.
Yeah.
And I just, even from looking at her, and she was smiling like she had did some big thing, even though they said when she swam or when he swam against men, he came in like 300 place or something.
Mm-hmm.
Changed himself to a trans and he takes the championship. So I'm like, come on, man. And then just from looking at him, he had the fucking, what you call the damn the Adam's apple, and just looked like a man. So it's like, what is he doing? Competing against women? It's crazy.
Yeah, I would say from the new school perspective, I personally I don't get it, but this world enough, it's got a lot of flair to it.
No, they gotta have their own lane.
Yes,
they gotta have their own lane.
There has to be.
You can't be going against no petite
rules.
Little girls and shit, and use some trans transvestite,
which they want to be.
Some kind of transvestite.
Want to be equal, which you know what I'm saying. I understand, right? I completely understand. Want to be equal. But once you've made that transition, there has to be a guideline because biologically you're not equal at that point.
Man, what dude wants to cut off his schlong and become a woman? Come on. What is that, man? I want to cut off my schlong and get it tucked between my legs. No, man. No. And then how would you feel good about winning something when you're competing against women?
Yeah, that part.
You not a woman, never will be. So how do you feel good about, hey, I won this championship against these women? I forget which tennis player it was, but she went to a match and found out, and it was one of them sisters. Might have been Coco or one of them or whatever. Mm-hmm. They went to a match and found out that their opponent was a trans. And they were like, no.
You can respectfully battle.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
No detriment.
I'm not playing against my father's beer buddy. I'm not doing it. Shit, it's crazy, man. You know another thing that's crazy? I'm always on the phone talking business.
Yeah.
And I hate it when I get one of those foreign customer service representatives. And that's what we got now because you're trying to profit so much as a corporation that when it comes to you calling customer service, and I like the way they do it because it's flawless, like boom, before you know it, you're talking to somebody in the Philippines. So the call goes through smooth. But as soon as I hear that first, hello, Leroy, it's like, oh, God damn, I know I might have to repeat shit 10 times. Oh, I don't even know how we put up with that shit.
They stick to the script for sure too. That's usually my worst part. It's like
And you got to say when you got to verify yourself. You know how you verify yourself, give them all that information. Man, they want you to do it down to the letter. If you don't, they ain't talking to
Sir,
you.
slow down, sir. Slow down, please, sir.
And see, I got to try to decipher the language and at the same time deal with my problem that I'm trying to deal with. So it just, oh man, it makes for, I just hate it. Sometimes I just hang up thinking that the next one will be American, but it never happens. The other one is a worse speaking foreigner.
Their emotional cues are always so scripted. That's really the worst part. Like you're really upset and they hit you with like oh yes, I understand.
But they don't be talking that goddamn clear. No. And then some of them are speaking so fast, you gotta like, what? And I mean, sometimes I gotta go through that shit 5 times. Literally, what did you just say? What did you just say?
But you hit it on the head. You know, it's just for the profit aspect, you can probably outsource that at a decent price.
Oh, they do. They are. That's what destroyed America was sending. You know, at first we used to make everything here in America, and then the people got greedy. They said, "Shit, let's start sending that shit to China." And that's the first place we started sending stuff. Everything made in China for the next 30 years. Now it's finally dying down, man. Chinese people ain't even going for that shit no more. They're like, nah, send that shit to India.
Yeah. Let's put that somewhere else. You know, I was thinking, I'm only...
I see that smoke.
I'm only 30 years old.
Don't say that shit, man, because that dates me, man. Hey. But I had you when I was 12, so go ahead.
A chip off the old block. But I'm 30, right? I'm thinking, you know...
I had you when I was shooting doggy water.
Dad one-liners that I could say to my kids and stuff. But one of the key things that I guess I've learned as I've matured, as we've talked about things, is...
Don't mature, man. That makes you grow old, man. You got to stay immature for a long time. That's the secret to longevity. Immaturity. But go ahead.
You stay immature, but you seem mature is what
you fake it.
Yeah, fake it till you make it. But you know, but I'm thinking being able to admit your fault or being able to admit that you're wrong.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to do, man.
Impossible for some people.
And what I learned in the military is that you never apologize. You stand corrected. And that's just a way of really saving face, right? Because a lot of times you really should apologize, right? But for some reason, you just can't bring yourself to that, knowing that you're wrong.
What is that? Wow, what?
It's pride. It's pride. And, you know, some people are so proud that they cannot admit that they're wrong. And really, that's wrong. What's wrong with the world? You know, that's probably one of the main reasons for war. You just, you could be wrong. You don't want to admit it. Hey, let's go bomb some motherfuckers or whatever.
Do it to it right.
So can you deal with that? Can you admit that you're wrong when you're wrong?
I can, absolutely. And because I don't really, I don't see the detriment in it. I don't think like I'm lesser than or something. I know that. And I guess, like I said, getting older, I'm having kids. Mistakes are made. They just have to be corrected, molded, correct, in the proper way.
And another thing, you know, because on these episodes, one of the things we talked about last time, and we want to keep bringing up when we talk about conflict resolution, is the ability to agree to disagree. That is some power when you can do that. Going back and forth, and instead of leaving, mashing it up, you leave and saying, okay, you got your point, I got mine, we'll leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? We'll agree to disagree. That's some powerful stuff when you can do that. Very powerful. And we got to learn that, especially as a community.
Those two things would change, I would think. Maybe the whole global world. You can admit you're wrong and agree to disagree. Oh, man. How could you have an issue at that point?
Well, if people can adapt that. If you can adopt that, but it's hard. Very, very hard because of pride. Very, very hard.
Absolutely. Pride is the devil. I think J. Cole said that.
Is that That's a record? Pride is the Devil? What do y'all call it now? Back in the day, we used to say it was a record.
I'm so sleep. I would probably say like a song though.
Okay. We used to call them songs to a record, yeah. Because a record really used to refer to it was on vinyl. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, yo, that's the record. That's what you would have before all of the CDs and all that shit. You had records.
Speaking of vinyl, we're going to see the Bob Marley
We're
collection.
going to see it, man, as soon as possible. Maybe the next episode or two, we're going to see that. One Love. Yes, yes,
One
yes.
Love, bro. You call it a record. I call it a song. Old school, new school. UNDE, OG Lee, anywho, anyway, we're going to come back with Bob Marley another day, baby. Old school, new school. Stay tuned. You know what it is. You know who it is. OG Lee, UNDE. We out.